This video is about question 17. The question is a word problem, but not so hard. Let's break it down. So it says Kim Yuri, okay, so Yuri can work at most 12 hours every week in total at 2 different jobs. At McDonald's, she makes $10 per hour, and at Boost, she makes $13 an hour. What is the most hours that she can work at McDonald's if she wants to earn at least $130? So think about that. If she wants to make at least 130, this says at most 12 hours. That means she can work 11 or 10 or 8, 9 or. But let's just say, since we're trying to find the most she's trying to make here, we're going to assume this is a week where she works her maximum hours, so 12. We're just going to make that assumption right away that she's worked all 12 hours. And if you look at the question, what is the most hours she can work at McDonald's? Obviously, let's say she worked all 12 hours at McDonald's. Since you're making less at McDonald's, $10 an hour, if you want to make more money, you should be working more hours at Boost because you can make more there. So ideally, in the best scenario, she'll work all 12 hours at Boost and make all the money she can make. And 12 times 13 is 156, so that would be the most she could make. But if she works all 12 hours at McDonald's, making $10 an hour, it would only be 12 times 10, $120. So she doesn't want to work at McDonald's, but she has to split her hours between both, and she has to make more than 130. So how many hours at McDonald's at most? Because at a certain point, if she's working most of her hours at McDonald's, she won't make enough money. She won't make the 130. So let's write an inequality. Here I just wrote the first one. Hours at McDonald's plus hours at Boost is less than 12. It should say at most. It should say less than or equal to. Sorry about that. There should be an equal there. Anyway, we know the combined hours are 12 or less. The other statement that's important is how much money she wants to make, 130. So she's how many hours at McDonald's times $10 plus the number of hours at Boost times $13. And that total, when she adds up from both jobs, has to be greater than or equal to 130. She wants to make more than that, and that's what the question is asking. So I'm going to solve this inequality, but there's two variables. So I'm going to use this one to help me substitute in here. So if I solve this one for B, again, we're trying to go for the maximum number of hours anyway, so this doesn't matter if you have an inequality. You can just write equals here also, that's fine. So B is 12 minus M. So this B will be the hours at Boost is 12 hours in total minus the McDonald's hours. That makes sense, because if you worked 5 hours at McDonald's, you do 12 minus 5, and you get 7 hours at Boost. So 12 minus M. So right here, it's going to be replaced. Substitute that in there for that B. Now we can figure out this inequality with just M in it, so that will help us out. So first we're going to multiply through here. So 10M 156 minus 13M is greater than or equal to 130. Now combine the m's, I guess. So we get, yeah, 156 minus 3m is greater than or equal to 130. Now perhaps subtract the 156. So you get negative 3m is greater than or equal to negative 26. Divide by negative 3. Don't forget, when you divide by negative, this inequality is going to change direction, which it did here. And it's m is less than or equal to 26 over 3. That works out to this. So she has to work at McDonald's less than or equal to this many hours. So it has to be less than or equal to. And chances are in a job you can't tell them I want to work 8 hours and 40 minutes like this is. You say either 8 or 9. So the answer is 8. Because if it was 9 hours at McDonald's, it'd be greater than this. And then you wouldn't make your $130 because it'd be too many hours at the low wage job. So there's your answer, m equals 8. Now we can check if that works. Put 8 in here. So $10 times 8 hours at McDonald's is $80. And if you spent 8 hours at McDonald's, you worked 4 hours at Boost. So it'll be 13 times 4, which is 52. We had 80 plus 52 is $132. So if she worked 8 at McDonald's, she would make $132, which is greater than this amount she wanted. It works.